Commission meeting for Thursday, November 16th, 2017 is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Secretary, let's call the roll.
Commissioner Bonova?
Here.
Commissioner Creech?
Present.
Commissioner Dorban?
I'm here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Kalis?
Hello.
Commissioner Powers is here, and Chairman Rafato.
Here. Brooke, any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Mr. Secretary, is there anyone, citizen concerns and comments?
There is nobody tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. If I could have those sheets.
Sure.
Here you go, Brooke. Consent items. A, docket number SCBA 17-44, MCY 275, 12th Street, appearance approval of a wall sign. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dorban, second by Commissioner Blanova. Mr. Secretary.
Commissioner Dorban?
Yes.
Commissioner Bonova?
Yes.
Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Kalis?
Yes.
Commissioner Powers votes yes, and Chairman Rafato.
Yes. Items for review, docket number 2017-13, AMS Limousine Service, 2160 Foster Avenue. Special use site plan approval for a ground transportation service large. That's what it says. Large. Mr. Secretary.
Docket number 2017-13, AMS Limousine Service Incorporated lessee is seeking special use site plan approval as required under Title 19 zoning of the Wheeling Municipal Code, Chapter 19-07 Industrial Districts, Chapter 19-10 Use Regulations, Chapter 19-12 Site Plan Approval Requirements, and associated sections in order to establish a ground transportation service large at 2160 Foster Avenue, which is zoned I-1 Light Industrial and Office District and I-3 General Industrial District. Standards for a special use. A zoning special use is defined in Title 19 of the Village of Wheeling zoning as a use of a parcel of land that requires review and consideration before approval due to circumstances or effects on the surrounding properties that may adversely affect them. In order to be considered for a special use, the petitioner is required to demonstrate through testimony to the Plan Commission at the public hearing why their request meets the conditions of the village code, including but not limited to how the proposed use will not damage the enjoyment or use of the surrounding properties. Prior to the public hearing, the petitioner provides written statements meant to show that the request for a special use meets the standards established in Title 19. The Commission chairperson will typically direct that these statements be entered into the record without a full reading of them at the hearing. Based upon the testimony and supporting materials submitted, the Plan Commission will make findings in support of or against the petitioner's testimony and report those findings to the Village Board. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Brooke, anything to add?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Is the petitioner here? Please come forward. Good evening. Could you give your name and business address?
Yes. My name is Antonios Douglas. Well, our current business address is 4320 DePaulo Center in Glenview.
Okay, this is a public hearing, so would you please raise your right hand?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Do you swear the testimony you give tonight to be the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, thank you. So, sir, the floor is yours if you can explain what you want to do.
Yeah, we purchased this building in 2160 Foster, and we've been in business since 1942. We take care of this, we've been in this neighborhood, we take care of this, you know, the whole neighborhood, Morton Grove, Wilmette, Milwaukee Airport. We have 8 limos, well, I call them limos, but they're sedans, and 2 extended sedans, limousine, regular ones. They're not party buses. We're not in that business. We're a corporate company. We deal with a lot of corporations. And I like to park the limos in the back there on by the grassy area. The The problem is, I guess, two extended limos. They're like 5 feet longer than a regular car. And that's what I want to do, bring my company there.
So Brooke, is this the current,
Yes, this is the revised site plan that you received this week. It shows, in order to have unobstructed drive aisles that meet all of staff's concerns, the limos would be parked in the front parking lot, as shown here. And then the other fleet vehicles would be parked in the rear.
is there anything else you would like to add?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on this docket? No? Okay. We will go to the Plan Commissioner. Commissioner Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess the obvious things would be the building does look a little tired. It could use a little bit of sprucing up on
Yes, sir.
the exterior for sure. Parking lot included.
Right. The building's been like the building's been sitting like that for 3 years, neglected. We started. Matter of fact, I know you guys recommended the striping and sealing the parking lot. I call American Sealing because I know they're in Wheeling, and the gentleman's going to come out. He came already out today. He said it to tell you he cannot seal it because it has to be 60 degrees. But what he can do, he says, he can stripe it right now, stripe the whole parking lot, and then in the summer, in March, he can come back and seal it. Because he has to be, it won't stick, he says now. And in the bushes, I know that it's not the right one now. We brought a landscaping company. They're live bushes. They were just neglected. We started cutting them. And they're starting, got green already. You can see they're starting to get green, the grass area. And next summer, again, they're going to retrim them and bring them up because these bushes are $300, $400 a piece. They're very nice bushes, but they were just neglected. And we've been trying to fix it up outside. You can see from the pictures, put sod down, put little things. And I know when the summer comes in, we're going to work on more on the bushes and the appearance.
And you have no other plans for any other remodeling?
No, the building is perfect. It used to be an accounting department. So it has the offices ready. It was nothing to do to the building, just the outside was neglected. The inside, I guess, it was not touched. It was owned by an individual. And if you guys I don't know if you've ever been in the business, but the gentleman in the fire department has been, and he knows the building. It's very beautiful inside. The guy took care of it inside. Just the outside was neglected.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. Well, that covered the landscaping part, and you're not going to repave, you're just going to reseal in the spring?
Yes, yes. That's what he said. It needs the crack, little cracks. He says, I'm going to...
Fill those?
Yeah, he says, you guys know him. If you have any questions, because I'm hiring, tomorrow he's going to come out, and he's going to stripe the whole parking lot. But it's all he can do right now, he says, because I know you guys recommend that. So in the summertime, he'll come, he says, back and reseal the whole parking lot. But eventually, yeah, we're going to do the blacktop, eventually, everything, make it look nicer.
And you're okay with the parking limos out in front?
Yes, sir. I have no problem.
I have nothing else at this point. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Losing track of my job here. Commissioner Kalis.
Thank you. My concern was the outside appearance, which you covered, and pretty straightforward. If you move the limos from the back to the front, if that solves the problem, then I have nothing further either. So thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe there was a comment about a Sprinter van parked. Do you have any kind of van or anything like that?
Yeah, it's a Sprinter van. It's a regular Sprinter. It's not,
and that'll be parked in the back?
Yes, it's a regular. It's not, it's...
No, it's fine.
The Mercedes Sprinters. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yes.
it. Yeah.
In Ron Fire Department, you're okay with the proposed parking layout as it's being shown to you guys, to us?
As it's shown, it doesn't appear to offer any impairments to access.
Okay. I know there was a comment about bicycle parking. I mean, if anybody, like a worker were to take their bike there, I mean, I assume they could just put it inside the building or something?
Yeah, it's pretty big. The space is real big for 6 people. If you see it, it's 5,000 square feet, you know.
And what about trash? Is there a trash enclosure on the site, or is that all handled inside?
I haven't seen any. I don't think the other guy ever had no, it isn't.
So
I really don't have trash other than paper, because we're computer-based. We have very little trash.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a garbage can, the green ones I have to hire. I guess you guys have waste management.
Right.
I called them already. You know, we don't use, mostly we're computer-based.
Right. For businesses that don't produce a lot of trash,
Yeah.
it's common for them to have their trash cans indoors.
Okay. Right now, I don't think I have anything else. Thank you.
Are they going to be indoors?
Yes, sir. Just,
So they'll be like, yeah, so like it'll be wheeled outside to be picked up? Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Okay, I don't have anything else right now.
Commissioner Doorman.
Thank you. Wanted to get to your letter. Okay, here it is. You've been in Glenview for quite some time, haven't you?
we were in the Glen, and then when I bought the company 10 years ago, they won't sell me the building, the Glen, so I had just to buy the company and temporarily move it to Glenview at the Palo Center. I rented. And when my lease was over, I was looking for my own building to buy.
Okay,
That's
so,
how I came to Wheeling, because people were telling me, you know, I have family who lives around here,
so you're leaving Glenview because you couldn't buy the building, but you could buy this one?
yes, ma'am.
While I see this is going to be adequate for what you have now, if you grow your building, what, do you have plans?
Well, yeah, I was in the future, like I said in the beginning, before I bought the building, when I came to the village in April, and I asked two things: if this area was allowed, a limo service, and you see, I have all that land behind me. In the future, I would love to build a garage and put them all inside. Extend the business. We're a networking company. You know, we do business all over. To extend the cars, no. Extend more people, no. The computers do everything. If I get an extra reservation, one more person, but it's all computer-based. People make reservations. You know how it works now, like Uber style, online, and we have people who answer the phones because we have old customers who like third generation. They still like to use the phone.
So your plan is not to add additional drivers and limos, or is it?
No, we're fine right now the way we are.
The way you are now,
Yeah,
but
see,
if your
if I
business
need more
grows.
limos like we work now, we're a network company. I can have thousands of limos more from other companies that we all network together. Or here, Midway, you guys familiar with all of them. They used to be in Wheeling, I believe, a long time ago, because I used to be a driver for them. So we network with all these companies together. Everybody has little, and, we share orders. Whatever we cannot do, we give to them.
Okay, so your plan at this point is only to have this many drivers, and if you grew in the future and you added additional drivers,
Right.
have you really thought about what you're going to do? If they're
Well, that
not-
garage, that land is so big in the back, by the planning, I can build a garage and put 20 cars in there.
So you wouldn't, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out, what I'm trying to figure out is how do we police that so that there aren't all these extra drivers? I mean, how do we know that he doesn't add people?
The drivers don't stay at the office. Let's don't.
But they would be bringing their vehicles and swapping out, right?
Right, and a lot of drivers don't have vehicles. A lot of my employees, they use bus service. A lot of employees, And that's why we picked the one on Wheeling over there, because the train station is only a couple blocks away. And some of my office employees don't have cars. You know, so if, yeah, like you said, whoever has a car takes one and swipes out the other one, you know. But even if, in the future, like I said, that bank land, if you guys will allow me.
If you could move
garage.
you keep it in.
Sorry.
There you go.
For that back land, if I build a garage, I'll have 20 more parking spaces back there. Or if you don't, I can tear some more of this and make more parking spaces, because I got all that land in the back.
But in the meantime, before you got this garage built.
Right.
You would have additional vehicles on the land, on the property, and now we're going to cause a parking issue.
No,
Is this
because I have.
something Can you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd like to address this.
Right.
I don't think staff has a concern if there's an increase in number of fleet vehicles or the size of the fleet vehicles fluctuates. Obviously, if this business is successful, the vehicles themselves will turn over and they may need to change based on the market needs. I think our main concern is that they don't obstruct the drive aisles. And so provided that the size of the vehicles can be accommodated in the parking spaces without obstructing the drive aisles, and that there's always enough parking spaces to park all the vehicles and their employees, we have no concern.
Okay.
Can I add one thing?
Yes.
I will never buy extended vehicles, and the reason I keep them two ones, them two limos, is to accommodate my customers. Their kids are getting married. They're going to the prom, and I don't want to say no to them. That's why I only keep two of them. The rest are all sedans. And if I do expand, it will be a sedan. It won't be no more limos. I will not buy an extra limo. Two is enough. And really, they don't go out too much, like 4 times a week, maybe twice, 3 times a week, the limos. The sedans live a lot because they're not a need for them anymore, especially corporate companies don't want to pick up somebody in front of their office in a limo. The only time they will use them, again, if they have to go to an event, take their wives out, and that's why I keep them, so I don't say no to the customers. But I can guarantee I will not buy 2 more. They're very expensive. They're $100,000 a piece. With $100,000, I can buy 3 sedans.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
And just to add to that as well, if the petitioner were to expand the parking lot or build the garage, as he may like to in the future, he would obviously have to come back to the Plan Commission for review.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Durbin. Commissioner Blanova.
Thank you. Is there any chance of a car wash or maybe changing tires,
Nothing
oils?
like that. Absolutely not.
Nothing like that?
Our cars are 3 years old only. We don't keep them more than 3 years. Our cars are, we lease them from Highland Park, Ford Lincoln Mercury. All our cars go there, and we do maintenance a lot. We do once a month maintenance. They go there, need it or not. We give it every month oil change. Cars, you got to remember, they constantly run. Even when they're sitting at O'Hare or downtown or Milwaukee, the air conditioning's on, the heater's on, 24 hours, these cars. So we got to perform maintenance once a month. And we don't do no repairs. If we had a flat tire, you got to, call the tow truck. I will not do that.
So we should not expect any of that?
No, nothing like that. We don't do no car washes. We do not do anything like that. Everything goes, it's cheaper to go down to the street to the car wash to have a guy there full-time doing car washes,
Oh, sometimes there are some problems inside and in those limos after parties.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's cheaper, believe it or not, when you have a fleet, you pay by the month, like $50, and the cars go there every day, and they clean them for them. And matter of fact, when I'm leaving Glenview, I got to find somebody around here to do this stuff closer to the office. I've been looking around Milwaukee Avenue and Wheeling right here, and I think Dundee's another car wash here. So we're going to have to go make a deal with one of them so the cars can go there for car washes every day, because we wash the cars every day.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't have no other questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
So what the way I read this is that you've got 8 vehicles
Yes, sir.
and 6, so you have 2 shifts, 6 employees during the day, so that's 14 spots, correct? And you got a lot of parking, if I read this correctly. So even if they added a vehicle, as long as it wasn't a stretch, and don't say never that you're never going to buy another one, because there's no way we can control that.
No, but I guarantee you that, like I said,
right. Okay.
I really don't want them either, but I just don't want to say, that's why I just keep 2 for that reason. Sedans and SUVs are more profitable.
And Ron, the reason why the stretch ones are in the front is because of access, right?
Yeah, the distance of the parking spaces, they're say 20 feet. If it's a 25-foot car, it's going to stick out of the parking stall by 5 feet into the drive aisle.
Okay. And thank you. And most of the time those limos are going to be sitting on.
No, they're not. If they sit 2 hours a day.
No, the stretch ones.
Oh, the stretch, yeah. They'll sit, these will sit more than 6 hours a day, but then they'll leave for the evening. In the morning, we don't use them a lot. Maybe if they go to O'Hare, and if you have a big family, then we'll use them in the morning. But the other cars are guaranteed they're gone all the time.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, you see, I say shifts, but some drivers come, the morning drivers who have cars, too, comes at 6 in the morning and pick up the cars. The other guys will come at 9, 10, and them kind of shift to pick up the people who don't have cars, so they can catch the train, and we usually go pick them up.
Okay. So it sounds like you've been running this business from here no. Are you actively in the building now? No.
Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not, no, we're not in there yet.
Just makes it sound
We're just
like
waiting for you.
everybody waits for us. Okay. So, I just lost my train of thought there. So my only other comment is really about the landscaping. And Brooke, you had some pictures that I didn't see.
You want some pictures?
Yeah, well, no, we have these right here, and that's fine. I'm well aware of Foster Avenue, and it's, light industry. There's a couple of tree companies there. There's a bathroom place and a whole bunch of other stuff. The landscaping and those, I understand the evergreens and everything. Those are nice, and they look like they're in good shape, though you have to be probably careful with what you do there, because when you start cutting those back, they're probably going to be very bare in the middle. But I don't see anything else. And according to our records, our plans, there was never a landscape plan for this at all.
No.
And where I'm looking at it, it needs something more than just those evergreens. And I know you're going to say, well, there's not a lot of activity on that street, but we have to start somewhere. And actually, the sign company that came before us, we had them do landscaping. It's on that same side of the street. I don't know if they're in existence anymore, but there's that sign company there. I can't think of the name of it. Used to be there, at least. It might have been before your time. Right. So, and this landscape plan just really doesn't do much for me. Now, I'm only one person, but you said you hired a landscaper.
Mm-hmm. He came and trimmed them.
Right.
He came in, they were all, and he said he'd come next year, and how they are now trimmed, they're moving upwards, and he has cleaned the area here. If you see a wall, it was all scrubs here before.
Right.
And he's picked them up a lot from the ground, and what he's doing, he's cutting it as they grow, they get greener and greener. He did this a couple months ago, as they get greener, they start blooming upwards. And he says it's going to look nice by next year.
Well, I personally would like to see some type of landscape plan other than more, I would like to see more landscaping than just these existing shrubs. You know, something adding some perennials or annuals that.
In the middle of the scrubs? You mean in the middle of the scrubs?
Yeah, you've got big spaces there.
Okay.
That can be added.
Okay.
But I'm not, you know, I'm just one person on the board, so if anybody else would like to comment on that, or if they think that the landscaping is sufficient, then I will be quiet. And in addition, Commissioner Powers talked about the garbage cans, and I would like to have a condition added that requires that the cans are stored inside the building because, one, they would end up taking up a parking space. So you want them in the building.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I have to say that I do agree that the landscaping needs some work. I have not physically gone out to the site, but looking at this, especially in the front here, is that rock in between the plants there, the bushes?
Yeah, there's.
This rock?
Yeah, stone, yeah, what do you call it, pebble stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there are rocks all around, and if I believe in the front, they're all rocks in between the bushes. Only the sides don't have them. The sides are grass in between the bushes. Yeah.
I would have to agree with the chairman. I'd like to see some color, at least in the front, and maybe put some get some mulch down there or something.
Mulch, okay.
Possibly, but like I don't, and I agree with what the chairman's saying about Foster Avenue, but I agree we should try to start somewhere. Anything to add more color and spruce it up, I would appreciate it also.
No problem, sir.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I would agree with you, and I think, you know, for your benefit, it probably, a perennial would be best.
What is it?
A perennial, something you didn't have to, you know, plant every year.
Oh, I got you. I got you what it means, yeah.
There's numerous colors of daylilies that you plant in, or, you know, in between the bushes.
Yes, ma'am.
And if they're going to cut them back, there's going to be even more room.
Right.
So I would agree that we need to add some color there.
No problem.
Do I hear a couple of more nods?
Yes.
Yeah, it would help.
Yeah, it has to start somewhere, I think, is key, because it's just a limo company, it's just an industrial area, but if you start the chain, it would look really nice in that area, so.
I agree.
So, Brooke, how can we, I know you're looking for a, we normally like to see a landscape plan. And we're not looking for something very elaborate. I mean, even this drawing that's here now, that if you had a landscaper point out where they're going to plant things in the front.
Okay.
And I agree, I think it was Commissioner Powers said, you know, the front is the prime area, that they could put something on there. And we normally like to have that as part of the submittal to the, this goes before the village board, correct?
Yes.
So when would it go before the village board?
In early December,
So,
probably December 4th.
December 4th. It's a Monday.
Mr. Chairman, is there some way that we could get some kind of a plan, and I understand the weather and stuff, but maybe, you know, if they could at least submit some kind of plan, at least for the front, with some kind of date on it, says that the work's got to get done by, you know, like you know, May of next year or something like that. I don't know, put some kind of condition on it like that. I don't know. I think,
Sure. Of course, we could add a condition of approval with the special use ordinance requiring landscaping be installed by, you know, June 1st of next year. We do that with
right,
other things. Obviously, they wouldn't be planting this time of year anyways.
right.
But it's up to you. Do you want to review the plan before this goes to be reviewed by the village board? Or perhaps you would like to, just the landscaping to come back as a minor site plan change?
How about, can we do that?
Think so?
Yeah,
I'm good
because
with
I wouldn't want to hold up the special use,
Okay.
because I'm sure you're anxious to get in there.
Yes, sir.
So if, but how do we hold him to getting it here? Getting him here for within a month
Right.
to get that here? How do we do that?
Well, I have, well, the staff report has a condition of approval regarding the seal coating, that it be done prior to occupancy. And it's already been stated that it's too
Right, it's
late
too
in the
late.
year to do this. And we're not going to actually hold up their occupancy, but we would condition that through the business licensing. And it would essentially be like a final occupancy at a later
Okay.
date. Some minor things would be,
Can we do that?
right.
And then-
So I
and
think
then-
if we require that the petitioner return with a landscape plan for minor site plan and appearance approval prior to final occupancy.
Well, okay, I'm okay with, I was okay until you said that. What I would like to see is a landscape plan with a date instead of before final occupancy. So we have meetings in December. I mean, I know we have the one on the 30th, but that's a
It's a
workshop.
workshop.
So either the 7th or the 21st. Can we do, I think we can do that.
Well, the 7th may be difficult, with, especially with the holidays, and I don't
Okay.
know.
I'm just, I understand, okay, so you don't get, so they don't get final occupancy. The company doesn't get final occupancy until you say so, right?
Until the director of community development.
Oh, that director.
Right.
Yeah, I know that director. Okay. Phew. Okay, so, all right, then I guess I'm okay with that.
So often, there's a temporary CO issued
Right.
for instances like this.
Okay, cool. So just for clarification, we're looking at requiring a landscape plan before final occupancy is approved or given to them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But can we put a date, like, we'd like to see something by January?
Would you be able to talk to your landscaper?
Well, hold on, let,
What difference does it honestly
true.
make? Because he cannot possibly plant before May,
that's true. Okay. Right.
so.
But he can work on a temporary occupancy forever, right?
Well, no, I don't
No?
think he'd want to,
No, I don't.
no.
No, okay, just, you know, I've never owned a business, but, okay, then let's do, is everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Creech, you okay with
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. Does anyone have anything else?
One quick one.
Yes.
Do you plan any signage for the building, or just stencil the door, or?
Oh, I never thought of that. Thank you. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
I want to put us, I know other people have, but I guess we think we have to come back, right?
Correct.
Well, yeah, with any large signs, I don't think
If I
you do.
put a sign, it'll be just our name a little bit, you know, with, you know, I won't put nothing humongous. I don't know if it'll be against the, you know, the front wall a little bit, or the, You know, it won't be nothing humongous.
Yeah.
You know, it will be just a little bit.
And Brooke, if they just did it on the windows, is that even?
No permit would be required for that.
So if you
Window
just,
signage.
if you just put it on the front window or the doors, then
No problem, right?
Instead of the
Right.
building. Yeah.
it's when you attach it to the building or make a monument sign, then it's a whole
Oh,
nother issue.
that's how I gotta come, okay.
Would you like to
Okay,
review what we have?
yes. Okay, we have one condition from the staff report that the parking lots and drive aisles shall be seal coated and striped prior to occupancy.
But that has to be reworded now?
We handle this all the time,
Okay.
so
Well, because you say prior to occupancy,
okay,
Excuse me, I'll have.
Well, like I said,
they're
it's-
coming tomorrow to stripe it, but they cannot seal it if it's okay
Right.
with you.
right,
fine.
we understand. Like I said, we, in the Community Development Department, have a means of not holding up a business from being open. We issue temporary occupancies.
Oh, okay.
So that these type of weather-related issues are resolved.
gotcha, okay.
Yeah, okay. So I have another condition that would help address the fluctuating type and number of fleet vehicles. That is, the number and size of fleet vehicles may fluctuate, provided unobstructed drive aisles are provided in accordance with the code.
Cool.
3, trash receptacles shall be stored indoors. And 4, prior to final occupancy, the petitioner shall return to the Plan Commission with a landscape plan for minor site plan and appearance approval.
Before final occupancy?
Yes. So that would not hold up the special use review and approval by the board. It would not hold them up from opening, but before final occupancy in the spring, that would be.
Okay.
And that would come to us as a minor, and the board wouldn't even need
That's right.
to see that,
Right.
right? Okay.
That's it.
Do I hear a motion for docket number 2017-13?
So move.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Blanova, second by Commissioner Johnson. Mr. Secretary.
Commissioner Bonova?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Commissioner Dorban?
Yes,
Commissioner Kalis?
Yes.
Commissioner Powers votes yes, and Chairman Rafato.
Yes. Motion to close.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
You just have one thing to sign, sir, and then you can be on your way.
Sir, thank you very much.
How soon do you think you'll be in operation here?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I cannot move during the holidays. So I'll probably be in the end of January or the beginning of February.
Okay.
You service,
Right now, it's hard to move by service.
you serve a lot of places. I saw your website.
Oh, you did?
A lot, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if you can sign these two items, and this shows the conditions. Yeah, just sign that,
For our 30th.
and then sign the other one. That one is your copy, and then it shows the
Yeah.
conditions. And then you'll contact,
I'll be in touch.
Do I start the plans down now for the landscaping?
No, you don't need to, not yet. I'll give you instruction when I'm in the office.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great holiday. Thank you.
thank you, you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Calling docket number 2017-14, Stay Fit 24, 740 West Hints Road, special use site plan approval for a health club. Mr. Secretary.
Docket number 2017-14, Brett Conley, applicant on behalf of Stay Fit 24, is seeking special use site plan approval as required under Chapter 19-06 Commercial Districts, Chapter 19-10 Use Regulations, and Chapter 19-12 Site Plan Approval Requirements and associated sections to establish a health club at 740 West Hintz Road, Wheeling, Illinois, which is Zone B3, General Commercial and Office District. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Brooke?
I have nothing at this time.
Petitioner here, I assume. If you can give your name and business address, please.
Brent Conley, 2500 Lehigh Avenue, Glenview, Illinois.
Okay. Raise your hand. You swear the testimony you give tonight to be the truth.
I do.
Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I work for a company, Highland Ventures, which essentially we're a holding company for many other retail brands. We're also in real estate development. We've actually had businesses operating in Wheeling for almost 30 years. So Family Video first opened our very first store in Wheeling. It was, I believe it was 1988 on Wolf Road. So what's kind of interesting now, I'm before the board because when we first opened that store, that was one of our smallest video stores. And over time, over the last 30 years, video has changed. So what we're doing now with the property that we own, we're looking at other properties that we have and where else can we bring some of our other brands. So not only was Family Video here 29 years ago, we also opened the Marco's Pizza in 2012 in the same property. And then the property that we're speaking of here today, I believe we developed that back in 2011. So Marco's, Family Video, Stay Fit 24. What I'm here today requesting a special use for is to be able to bring in our fitness model, which essentially we are taking the property today and we're cutting it almost in half, allowing us to have about 3,400, 3,500 square feet to operate a 24-hour fitness center. We specialize in one-on-one small group training. And we also have the ability for our membership that they can gain access 24/7 with their key fob. For us, this is a very complementary use because we still want to keep Family Video open. As I said, the evolution of video, we don't need the square footage as we once did in the 90s and early 2000s. So we still have plenty of opportunity to service the customers in our video store with a smaller square footage, and then this allows us to take more of the property with the fitness concept. In terms of, again, being complementary, the video side, we're very busy on Friday and Saturday nights. On the fitness side, it's essentially a ghost town. Nobody really comes in and work out on the weekends. But then on our side, on fitness, it's very, very busy on Mondays and Tuesday evenings, which then on the video side, it's very slow. So in terms of customer traffic in and out, it really does serve the property very well. In terms of what Stay Fit is about, we've been in business now since May of 2008. We actually just opened our 13th gym down in Homewood 2 days ago. And we're expanding. So not only are we coming to Wheeling, but we're also coming to other North Shore areas to expand the fitness concept. I believe we have submitted I don't know if there's any questions that I can maybe answer to the effect of our business or how this will actually impact video.
Well, we can go to the Plan Commission. We'll start with Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait a second. Before I forget. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Nope. Okay, great. Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. I really don't have much on this. I think it's a nice way of keeping that building functional. I know the video business has changed. When I tell people that, Family Video is still open, they're just amazed that people are still renting. But I do go in once in a while myself.
Thank you.
At this point, I really don't have any questions.
Okay. Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is probably for the fire department. In the packet, there was a mention of a rear sidewalk. I was wondering if, Brooke, you could bring up the site plan, and can you show me where we're talking about for the sidewalk, because I didn't understand that.
That would Ron, that would exit out of the family video side, right?
Correct.
Along
The family
rear
video,
and along
they're
up.
adding a new exit door in that right rear corner as you look at the photograph.
Oh, exit door in the rear?
Correct.
So-
Okay,
And the code requirement is that you have to get to a public way, which is a parking lot or a street. So right now, it's just landscaping, grass in that area. So you'd have to provide a suitable walkway that you can remove the snow from in the winter so that the people can get to the parking lot.
so that would be from the northeast corner of the building and all the way out to the west, is that right? To get out to the parking lot
Depending on
there?
how they do it and which way the door swings, I don't recall which way it swung. I would anticipate that it would go to the east and then come along the east side of the building because that would be
Okay.
the shortest direction.
Okay,
And I think there's a fence up there, so you have to provide a gate in the fence.
okay, that's great.
But
Deal?
again, either way would be acceptable.
Oh, that's fine. I thought it was interesting. I just didn't know how the sidewalk was going to run, and you've explained it to me and why it's necessary, so appreciate that. The only other question I have is that I don't know have any idea what the status is of the irrigation system there? I know they put in an irrigation system. I never see it running, and I just want to make sure that that irrigation system is still operational. If it's going to be used, and just make sure it's in order before you guys open, or at least gets checked out.
Sure. I'm not aware that it is not operable. I'm assuming it is. Just
Right.
from my last visit, all of our landscaping, it was very,
No, it's fine. I just know I know there's an irrigation system in there. I just want to make sure it's operable. Okay. And just from my general knowledge, how is it going to be priced? Any idea, like, kind of, is it a monthly fee? How is it priced?
it is. So we specialize with monthly memberships, no long-term contracts. We have a couple of promotional price points when we first open a gym. Just going through this in Homewood, we start off, a single membership might be $15 a month, and then we escalate the pricing based on the membership that we receive. We have various price points throughout the Midwest. Our gym in South Bend is $29.99 a month.
Okay.
Our gyms in Cleveland are $24.99. So it runs that price point.
That's fine. I mean, I think it's a good use, and I think it'll attract more flow than what's there now. So I have nothing further.
Thank you. Commissioner Blanova.
Thank you. It's 24 hours, and you mentioned that customers or members will be able to use their fob to walk in. Is it going to be unattended during night?
It is. So we have limited staffed hours. Typically, when we open a gym, it will be staffed anywhere from 50 to 55 hours in a week, and then we tend to scale that back. We monitor usage. The key for us is to be able to have that touch, that involvement, the interaction with our members, so they stay engaged and they continue to work out. We'll more than likely never exceed 50 to 55 hours. So again, since we've been doing this since 10 years almost, we will occasionally see members coming in at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but it is very, very rare. It's a concept, I think, that the matter of convenience, it's very, very attractive to a lot of our members, but unless you're working odd shifts, second shift, third shift, we tend to see a majority of our members coming in at 4 or 5 in the morning, and then we typically come in at 8 or 9 in the morning. From a security, from a safety standpoint, I don't know if maybe that's what your concern was. All of our gyms have 24-hour security cameras inside of our facilities. And with us being headquartered in Glenview, we have a number of different ways that we monitor that. So our staff monitors it after the fact. So they're reviewing all of our members, our actual members coming in, that non-members are not coming in from a liability standpoint. I want to be able to control that. But in addition to that, it's live fed to our corporate office, and then we are recording everything at the office. We do have a number of middle management that also reviews the tape, But safety is number one concern for us on all elements of what we do within the confines of the gym.
Got it. It just in case of if that person is all alone there and nobody can walk in, God forbid something happens with that person, fire department not going to be able to walk in. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are other ways to get in there, but.
And if you don't mind, I would like to address that as well. So all of our gyms, as far as I'm aware, there's not any special requirements that is placed on a fitness facility. For us, we have an AED in every one of our gyms, and we also have an emergency 911 phone. We have that centrally located that if something happens, there is an injury, they hit that. We have a third-party service that contacts local fire, police, and paramedics. Like I said, we've been doing this 10 years. I've not had any issues. We had a couple of minor injuries while it was staffed. We also have lanyards that if you are in there at 2 in the morning, you can take the lanyard with you onto the treadmill. You can take it throughout the gym, and that also triggers the emergency phone.
Got it. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. And that family video, I'm sorry, I've never been there. That family video, is it 24/7?
It is not. It is not.
So
I believe, and this is off of memory, we have 750 stores. I believe we open at 11 Sunday through Thursday. I believe we open at 10 a.m. on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And then I believe we close at 11 p.m. during the week, and we close at midnight on the weekends.
And another question, the winter is coming. If we open 24/7, if there are people there, how are we going to do a snow plowing?
We have a third-party service that plows our parking lot.
Got it. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dorbin.
Thank you. Can you explain, I know the main door is there, and you're adding an additional door, correct?
So the existing vestibule, the picture that's up here, underneath the awning with Stay Fit, that is today the current entrance to the building.
Right.
What our proposal is that we will keep that entrance. That will only allow you access to the gym. And then in the rendering to the middle there, that would have to be a new entrance that we would have to construct.
Right. So, because I've been in the store, so I know that there is a space between.
Sure.
So that you have that extra safety, and I agree, I understand all that. Excuse me. The new door will only be used for the video portion of it, correct?
No, I believe we are going to share that. Brooke, do you have a?
I have the floor plan.
So in other words, I guess my question is, when you add that new door, will somebody from the family video be able to go to the back and forth?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, they will not. Do I have access to anything here?
Yes.
There we go. So this demising wall right here is essentially going to go from the front to the back, and there will be no access from any customer from the fitness over to video or vice versa. The only access point to get into the video store is going to be the door that we proposed.
Okay, that's what
Okay.
that's why I wanted to clear up. Okay, so now the bathrooms in the workout area, I don't remember them being there before. Are these new?
So today, I believe, is that the existing?
This is the demolition plan.
Okay. So we currently have 2 restrooms now on each side here. And with the fitness, can you come back to the gym? I'm sorry. So essentially, it's going to be in the exact same area. So we are going to have to demo the existing bathrooms. And what our proposal is that we're also going to have a private shower in each one of the restrooms. So that essentially, all of our utility room, all of the mechanicals, that is where we have the room dedicated today for family video. And we're also going to use that essentially the same square footage, the same footprint. We're just going to modify the layout of those bathrooms.
Okay, now the entrance to family video as it stands now. You walk in and you've got all the desk area.
Yes.
So you're gonna divide that piece up so that it's separated, I get that. And then the back part of the building, if I'm not mistaken, was offices, right?
No.
In the way in the,
It is, I'm sorry, are we,
This is the demolition plan. This would be existing, the existing wall structure?
we
the
had,
interior?
there was also a video room back there.
right.
That
So
was not office space.
it wasn't, oh,
No.
okay. And what is that gonna be?
That is,
Here is the proposed floor plan. Although review of the family video floor plan is really not up for discussion tonight. It's a permitted use.
No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious how the space is gonna be separated. Okay, as long as it's gonna be separated and there'll be 2 sets of doors, I understand. Okay, that's all I have.
Commissioner Kalis.
Thank you very much, Chairman. So I have a personal experience at a gym where there's group class. Do you have group classes coming in?
we are having group classes.
Right, so the plan said that typically it's 10 to 15. What if there's a class that gets really, how do you monitor that number of people? Because there's 17 extra parking spaces. What if someone loves this class and you get 40 people instead of 15?
I might come back here and do backflips for you.
Because it was like a nightmare at the gym
Sure.
that I went to, and nobody could park anywhere, so.
No, I understand that. And quite honestly, that's what really started our model. Many of us have had experience where there may be 50, 60 people in a class, and that experience, it's not who
overwhelming.
we are. It's too much. And what I tried to illustrate here in the room is that we would not, and I'm sorry, when I say the room, the group exercise area where I have the bikes, we will have 8 to 12 people in a class, and we're not a mega gym. And quite honestly, when you look at how other municipalities define fitness and workout centers, we really don't fall within that spectrum. So about 30%, 40% of our total membership will take part in some degree of classes and some one-on-one training session. So when you look at 700 members at any given time through the course of a month, we just don't see that demand. So this isn't the first facility that we brought the group exercise in. And how do we control it? Well, I mentioned before, our price honestly controls it. So if we suddenly see that we're reaching demand, or our demand is reaching capacity, we simply raise the price and we allow the economics to trickle down so that we're making a little bit of money in the same space.
Okay, but your employees will never say, okay, we have 15 people, we have to cut it off?
Yes, we will.
You will, okay.
We will, yeah. I just don't have the facility.
Because the gym I went to did not anticipate having way too many people, but it just happened and then.
And we have sign-up sheets that are capped at, well, in this case, it would probably be capped at 12, but we won't allow.
That's all, that was my main concern.
Thank you.
I've experienced, that's not fun. But I like the concept. I also have no further questions besides that, so.
Great.
Commissioner Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have nothing other to say that it's a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you.
So a couple of things. Thank you, Commissioner. A couple of things. Commissioner Powers brought up the irrigation system. So, Brooke, can you go back to a couple of the pictures? So apparently, the irrigation system is not being used really a lot here because, as you can see on the side of the building, there's no planting whatsoever, and I would assume that we probably had landscaping there at one time. I think they came before us pre-iPad, so I'm not certain that. Do you have the old?
I have the approved landscape plan on hand. I believe this is the space you're looking at in that photograph,
So there is nothing.
and there's nothing. I think
Okay.
it's very narrow in that, maybe
Okay,
the reasoning.
fine. So what, I guess then what we could do is that, since we have an approved landscape plan, can we make it a condition that this is reviewed and brought up to snuff, if you will?
Sure.
Good. Right. Then, and I think it's a great idea, good use. You know, I think when I think Pam and I were the only ones that were on the board when this, on the plan commission, when this came before us, and you know, I think it was mentioned that, you know, sometime in the future, these things could be subdivided, and we were actually, when Marco's came before us, so I half expected a restaurant, but this is an effective use also. I know that the layout of the family video is not part of this, but if I'm not mistaken, and it's been years since I've been in here, at one time there was, I don't know what you would call it, an adult section?
Yes.
Is that going to exist in here?
No.
Okay, great. Just curious. Okay, good.
Times have changed.
Well, based upon today's world, I don't think so.
Well, I'm sorry, the internet has changed.
That's true.
Wow.
That's true, okay. Enough
Moving on.
Okay. No, you're right, okay.
true.
So, just for clarification, because, and if I could, let me go back to, so you have a typical State Fit 24 employs 3 to 6 employees, but you could have other people coming in during, you know, if they have, okay.
Yes.
All right, so 3 to 6. Okay, that's fine. I really don't have anything. I think it's a good effective use, and your effective use of the building. The building seems to be in good shape. The parking lot seems to be in good shape. So, Brooke, do we have any conditions? I know you have the sidewalk.
Yes, there's one condition from the staff report that states, the building permit plans shall include a new sidewalk for exit access between the new exit door of the rear of the building and the front parking lot. And 2, the landscaping shall be consistent with the approved landscape plan for family video.
So with that consistent, you know, if like something is dead, they have to replace it.
Right,
And that will be reviewed for occupancy.
right.
Great, thank you.
What about the irrigation system?
And,
Their irrigation system is in place.
okay.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
I don't believe I had a chance to see this, this plan. I am fairly confident that I have more planting materials than what is represented here. So if I don't have, it looks like there might be 9 bushes right there in a row, but if I've extended out and I have more planting materials, I'm assuming that will suffice your concern?
If you
Yeah.
have more, yes.
Yeah.
I can modify this, I can say, at minimum, the landscaping shall be consistent with the approved landscape plan from family video.
We don't want you tearing anything out.
I don't want to.
But, you know, in some cases, we have seen that the landscaping has been neglected and it, you know, it needs to be replaced, and that's what we're looking for.
Sure, understand.
Do I hear a motion?
One more thing, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman. Brooke, the address on page 1 of the staff report to get corrected.
Okay. I will correct it before it goes to the board.
And with that, I'll make the motion.
So moved?
Second.
We have Commissioner Johnson making the motion and Commissioner Dorvan seconding. We'll go that route. With the following, with the conditions stated, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. Mr. Secretary?
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Doorman?
Yes.
Commissioner Bonova?
Yes.
Commissioner Creech?
Yes.
Commissioner Kalis?
Yes.
Commissioner Powers votes yes, and Chairman Mafato.
Yes. You'll have something to sign, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yep. Just sign those two, and you can keep one. Right there. And Brooke, I assume sometime in the future we'll see the signage before us?
Yes, I would assume so.
Great, thank you very much. And that's it, thank you. Have a good holiday. Happy Thanksgiving. Approval of minutes, October 26th, 2017, and November 2nd, 2017.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I emailed Brooke earlier in the week about a change to the November 2nd minutes, and looks like that's been incorporated. I signed it on my, before the meeting, so I just want to make sure.
Which corrections?
Oh, it was something regarding the siding was 5 inches. I had to change to 5/8.
Well, there was also some changes that I emailed Brooke on, the fact that I was the chairman pro tem that called it to order. And the voting showed Chairman Rufato as a nay instead of absent.
Yes, those
on all the
updates,
votes.
those were noted and
Okay.
updated before they were signed tonight.
Thank you.
I would have voted nay, but that's fine. No, I don't even know what it was, yes. I know, I saw that too. So do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Let's do them one at a time, because I wasn't here
Yes.
for the second. So October 26th, all those in favor?
Aye.
November 2nd, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll vote abstain for November 2nd. Thank you. Other business. I assume nobody's got any other. Brooke, you have other business?
Yes, I have something for the group tonight. So an update. It's an update on the village entry signs. This is a design that was first presented to the Plan Commission during the joint Village Board and Plan Commission workshop in the spring. This is a design of a concept that would replace the existing monument signs at all the locations in the village. What we have here is very similar to what you saw in May. This rendering depicts the scale of the sign. It is 8 feet in diameter. We have a low maintenance plant palette, including decorative grasses. And the sign is meant to be seen only from one direction. And the overall design includes the wheel, which is the base of the sign structure, and then there's a panel that goes on the front that includes the sign itself.
What material is this?
It would be a metal. And then here is some other concepts that we've evolved. Here's some other designs that we've evolved. And in this depiction, you'll see we're working with different colors, and this is a dark bronze color. We have 2 different renderings to note the day and the night lighting effects. The wheel itself would be constructed of 2 different panels that would be nearly side by side, and then there would be lighting components internal to those panels that would shoot in towards the center of the wheel down the spokes. And then there would be a sign panel that is flush mounted to the wheel itself. This one is different from the first sign that I showed you in that the sign would, the letters would be pin mounted and they would be backlit. So in the daytime, the color of the pin-mounted letters would appear contrasting in color to the dark color, so they'd be white in this option. But then at night, the colors would be backlit and they would appear black. So staff likes this concept because it doesn't have a sign cabinet, and that's consistent with our sign code. And it is still going with the same initial concept that was presented in the spring. Here's another option that we're working with, where it would be a stainless steel color instead of the darker bronze color that I just showed you. The lighting effects is not quite as apparent in these renderings, in these depictions, but still there would be a flush-mounted panel with pin-mounted individual letters that are backlit at night. And they would, so with this stainless steel color wheel, the lettering would be a black color to provide that contrast in the daytime, but then again at night, they would have the halo effect of the backlit letters. So these are the two options that we're working with right now. So what I wanted to show you the evolution here of our concept for the village entry signs, but I also wanted to ask your opinion, and that is your opinion. Do you feel comfortable with this 8-foot size that we're going with? I think it's more accurately depicted in this photograph rendering, where the wheel itself would be taller than most of the landscaping. Here it's not really shown to scale accurately. So 8 feet, this is definitely to scale along Milwaukee Avenue here. So that would be my first question. And then the second question is, do you feel that this is a good concept in terms of design, that the sign panel itself would be flush mounted to the wheel, that it would have pin mounted backlit letters, and that the structure of the sign itself, the wheel, would include 2 metal panels that are in the shape of a wheel, and then there would be lights inside the wheel, and the lights would be shining towards the center of the wheel down the spokes. And so it's really best illustrated in this depiction here on the bottom right. So I would like to hear your feedback on those 2 questions. And then my third, which color do you prefer? The dark bronze color or the stainless steel?
Okay, Commissioner Doorman.
Oh, boy. Why do you start with me?
Okay.
Make it really tough. Okay. Well.
I can start. I'll start.
No, I don't mind.
I know.
I don't know that I'm crazy about the stainless steel. Although I do like the way it looks outside on downstairs. But I'm not sure outside that I think I would like the stainless steel. I do like the way the one on the left looks. I think with all the vegetation behind it, the more rounded looks aesthetically better maybe to me. I don't know. And the fact that it'll be lighted at night anyway, right? So, yeah, I would have to say I like the one on the left better. I'm not crazy about the bushes that stand tall behind the other signs. That's,
Actually, the depiction of the landscaping it's just a placeholder. It's not quite accurate. It is slightly more accurate over here because the scale of the sign structure itself is more appropriately sized here. Because the sign itself is 8 feet and it would be taller than these decorative grasses. Okay. So that's why the sign here is shown to provide a scale here.
So just the sign on the left, is that one of 3 types, or is the one on the sign on the left more closely aligned with the one on the right? So what I'm saying is we only have, from a color perspective, we have two selections, stainless or the brown.
Correct.
And the one on the right would show the brown with the different type of coloring. I mean, the different type of lighting. The lighting. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Right.
Anything more, Commissioner Dorban?
no, I'm done, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Kalis.
I originally liked the bronze color until I saw the stainless steel.
You do or don't?
I did, but I like the stainless better. I think it looks a little more elegant, but it might be overwhelming because it's so bright. It's like, I think the bronze might be too dull, but I don't know, like somewhere in between. But so there's no option there, but I like it in general. I like the design. The wheel is clever. The placard is placed nicely, so I like the design itself. If I had to vote, so 8 feet I think is acceptable. When you're driving, I assume it wouldn't be too overwhelming necessarily. Second question, I do like the design, and choosing between these 2 colors, I would prefer the stainless.
Thank you.
Commissioner Creech.
Is the wheel going to be the irregular shape like on the left?
It should be a circle.
Well,
No,
I see like distressed spokes and,
Right.
Oh.
you know, that irregular shape.
Oh, that.
Because the other ones on the right, they're like perfectly round and blocky spokes.
I think it may be smooth, mostly for safety. We don't want jagged edges. May it be depicted with some type of brush strokes? Possibly, but I think in terms of the shape, I think it will be smooth.
Okay. I prefer the stainless.
Stainless, and is height okay?
Yes.
Great. And obviously the design is acceptable.
And I just want to make sure, I'm looking for concurrence that the design on the right side in terms of the sign with the pin-mounted backlit lights is preferred over this cabinet-style panel.
Ah, got it.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Powers.
Size is fine. I really like the sign on the right. I like the contrast day and night. I'm still having wheeling in white, and then at night it's still there. The only concern I have is with the one on the right at night. If you're going to be able to see the whole wheel, so if you're going to be able to see the whole wheel, the spoke's going to be lit, and it's not going to be like a cabinet on the side. And I would almost vote for the one on the far right.
So you like the bronze?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Commissioner Blanova.
Thank you. I actually do like bronze some more. And even though the stainless, it looks really good, but I think it's going to be way too bright on the road in a sunny day. It might blinding people during the driving. I'm not sure how it's going to be during a sunny day. But I would go with dark bronze. In terms of design, how big it is, I don't think it's too big. I think it's gonna look good. But the design, I would add something. I would add something, like change it a little. It's too bold. It's just bold. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
I would add something.
Do you have a comment on the sign panel?
You like this?
The one on the right,
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like
thank you.
Right. Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. I apparently am on the bronze side of the room. And I would prefer that. And the backlit pin mounted is fine. I'm wondering if 8 feet is just a little overpowering now. That seems pretty darn big.
How big is the sign itself? Like the
8 foot
part?
circle.
Yeah, 8 feet in diameter. The existing signs are mostly 8 feet in width. They're not square, but they're more rectangular.
Yeah, but
they're not 8 feet tall.
But they're not 8 feet tall.
Right.
That's what I'm.
So like 3 feet tall, the wheeling part?
No,
Ish.
probably 5, I bet.
Okay. As long as you
Stand
can
next
read
to
it.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think 8 feet is overpowering, really?
I'm trying to picture it, on the side of the road, and that's a big wheel.
Big wheel, keep on rolling.
I mean, I'm only one person, but.
No, that's why I'm not, right now, you're the only one that thinks it's too big, so, interesting.
I mean, these wreaths are.
I was just
only,
looking at that wreath,
what,
wondering if that
5
was 8 feet. That's,
Those are probably 60-inch wreaths,
Yeah, probably.
so that's only 5 feet.
No, but you're talking about a street.
Well, I know,
It's going
I know,
45 miles an hour,
but
or
you're
60,
talking 3 feet.
so 3 more feet. Okay. Well, that's a good point, okay. So we're just a recommending board anyway, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Well, we're still working on
Right,
it.
so-
We actually have not contracted with the sign company yet. We're still in the design phase, and we just wanted to bring it back to you before we do initiate that, so that we know we're going in the right direction.
So, I'm sorry, Commissioner Johnson?
No, I was done.
Okay.
Waiting for your decision on the color.
Well,
Tie-breaking vote?
but we're not making
am
a
I a
decision. are we?
tie-breaking vote?
No, I think we
No, I
have
think-
more
I think
bronze
bronze is-
votes.
I'm the only one
Pressure's
staying with.
off.
Pressure's off, shoo. I think 8 feet is actually more than adequate. As a matter of fact, I think if we went 10 feet, it'd be fine. My concern is that somebody could see, as long as the actual sign that you see, Village of Wheeling, and are you going to put population on there?
I don't think so.
Okay. So as long, right now, when you drive down Dundee Road, coming from, driving west, you can see the Village of Wheeling sign. I mean, it's nice and big, the one on Hintz Road, those are the ones I see all the time. As long as the wording is large enough and proportional to what the wheel is, then 8 feet is good. I actually like the stainless. I think that'd be really cool. But Commissioner Blanova brings up a point, shining lights, it could make a difference there. The type of lighting, the backlighting is fine, but my concern with the dark one is the wheeling gonna be prominent enough at night?
That's my concern.
Right.
We're gonna look at the wheel instead of the actual.
Because here you've got a depiction of the stainless at night, I would assume. And you look at this, the one on the right, and, you're straining to see that. Now, I don't know what type of, it's probably gonna be LED.
Right.
So, as long as that's bright enough, and I think right now the majority is the bronze, as long as that is bright enough, then.
Just as an example, at Milwaukee and Dundee, at the Fresh Farms corner, there's a wall there.
Right.
that has pin-mounted backlit lights, and
That's
when you
great.
drive by, you have no problem seeing.
Well, but you also, though, at that intersection, you also
Oh, the
have all
lights.
the backlighting.
Yeah, there's
You
so
have
many.
street lighting. When you're on Dundee Road, driving west, there's no lights there. So that's a big difference. I don't know if you can use that as a comparison, because you do have all of the lighting there. I just, you know, if we go with the bronze, so you've got, I'm trying to, we don't have it here. That almost looks black at night, and that would concern me.
I think the stainless steel will also appear fairly dark at night,
Okay.
because you'll see the lights shining from inside of it, and then it will almost have like a shadow effect, I think, on the wheel material itself.
I think the commission has spoken that the bronze is the way to go.
Okay.
And the backlighting and 8 feet is the appropriate sign.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for bringing it to us.
No problem.
Other business, Commissioner Johnson?
Nothing other than I will not be here December 7th.
Okay. They shall live in infamy. Thank you for that heads up. Commissioner Blanova?
I'm very excited about Sunday, the lightning.
Oh, the lighting ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you
I'm
for
very
bringing that
excited.
up.
And another thing, I'm not sure how that works, but I think we're over 38,000 already in terms of population. I think we're more than that already. I don't know when it's going to change.
I don't
but
know.
If I'm not mistaken, we're 48,000 or 46,000.
No, I don't. No, I think we're only 38,000.
38.
Still 38?
38,000, yep.
That gets adjusted with the census.
Yeah, every 10
Basically.
years.
10 years.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, Commissioner Powers?
The only thing is the famous gas station, Gulf gas station on Dundee and 83. I see they put up their sign, but the Phillips 66 sign is still leaning against the building. Can we get that out of there? It's been there for, I hope there's plans to remove it.
Well, they're not pumping gas.
Right, they're not open, so
Well, the
it's
bag-
essentially under
The
construction.
bags are off the pumps. It looked like there were people.
Yeah, it looks like they're open.
They're open?
It looked like it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The pumps aren't bagged anymore.
Okay.
Well, they were digging up from the building, they were trenching from the building to Dundee Road. I don't know what they were doing, but they were trenching the other night when I drove by there. So, it didn't look open to me. I haven't seen anybody pumping gas.
All I'm saying is at some point, I hope that sign would be removed.
I'm sure it will be.
Yep, that's it.
Excuse me. Commissioner Dorband?
Thank you. Well, of course, I wanted to repeat the tree lighting on Sunday at 4:30. Chicago Kitty Train will be there. There will be refreshments, so we hope everybody comes out. I also wanted to say that in Chicago Business Ledger, Wheeling again is promptly and wonderfully shown, and they talk about Wheeling inside. So we got the Tribune, now we've got the Business Ledger. So I think this is really good for us, and it's showing one of the things it does says the lowdown on high-rise boom. So there is a big boom going on across a lot of villages and cities, not just ours, but their high-rises are back on the upswing. So I just thought I'd say that because it's another feather in our cap.
Thank you. Commissioner Kalis?
Thank you very much, Chairman. So I just got back from Texas. I was in a condo building that was very newly done, and I'm excited about the developments that are coming that have amenities, and it was a really nice place. It had a pool and a workout room, so I'm very excited to have multifamily, dwellings coming into Wheeling because it's a very cool sort of environment. So Austin, Texas says hi. I also won't be here December 7th, which I emailed you both about, so that's it for me.
Commissioner Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have nothing this evening.
Great. I just, the next meeting is November 30th. It's a workshop. And hopefully everybody, everybody said they would be here. We have who's going to be here?
We are working with the Chaddock Institute at the DePaul University and the Illinois American Planning Association. They're working together. They've gone to dozens of different communities and put on workshops with their plan commissions, and this is their specialty. And so we're really excited to host them, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for our group to learn some new things, learn some new tricks, get some questions answered, and have some new instructors, different perspectives. I think it's going to be very helpful for us.
Is it here in the chamber or downstairs?
It's downstairs in the Scanlon conference room.
Okay, great. And lastly, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, which is next week. It's early, it seems early. And have a safe travels for those that are traveling. And we will see you on the 30th. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.